Okay, so we're about a week on, touch more, a week on from the US election. What is the results? Well, there's quite a bit of angst and recriminations. There seems to be some legal proceedings pending, threatened and some in play already. The word that's surfaced recently is affidavit. So obviously the Republicans are running around looking for affidavits from suitable sources on any election irregularities. But I mean, that being said, we can talk a bit about the election and what it shows. And it's interesting because even though there's divided commentary in America, I think there is a reasonable extent to which people recognise that the vote was only as high, the engagement was only as high as it was because Donald Trump was on the ballot either for or against. You were there because of Donald Trump. It would appear that Trump got 72 million votes in total, which is more than Barack Obama did. And Obama had, the press on his side, and he had plenty of charisma to carry him forward. And now Trump's got more. Well, that's interesting because that number, rather than Biden's 77 million or wherever he's at. I mean, obviously Biden got more votes. He won the popular vote. But in political terms, and Graham Richardson said something about this after a Labour Party runoff, leadership runoff 30 years ago. He said it's you could say the person who came second lost, but if they get enough votes, then they're above a certain threshold, and you have to deal with the reality of their number of votes. And you can call them a loser as much as you like, but when you're getting 72 million votes, and that's more than the most successful recent challenger, in this case Barack Obama, that becomes a 72 million vote wall that you have to deal with, in this case as Joe Biden, the Democrat president-elect. And looking at the numbers, he's winning by, 14,000 in Georgia, 0.1%. He's winning by 30,000 in Arizona. Same in Nevada. These are slim numbers. These are very slim. I think we need to accept that. I was expecting a Biden slim victory. I think I mentioned that, or a Trump landslide. It looks like both have happened. Trump got far more votes than I would have ever expected, but Biden got a few more. So Joe Biden's talking about unity, which is good, but he's in a very tough position, and it gets worse when you go down ballot. And you look at the House. The Democrats should have picked seats up in the House. They've actually lost seats. They've lost seats, and now they're arguing with each other over whether they should have been talking about socialism or defunding police or reforming, or however they put the phraseology together. I think a lot of people saw it as defunding police. Those arguments have started. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has used the word irresponsible to describe other Democrats who are talking too early about this. And it's less than a week after the election. And it's becoming an issue, and we'll have to see how the mainstream media treats it or just ignores it. But it's not undiluted celebration on the part of Democrats, who may not even also get the Senate now. There's a runoff in Georgia, for January the 5th, and they need to win one, preferably two senators there, so that Kamala Harris, as president of the Senate, as we assume she will be as vice president, she also becomes president of the US Senate, will come in and break the tie. If it's 50-50, she can vote and break the tie. So, but they'll need to win both Democratic senators out of Georgia to do that, and it's questionable. And certainly Joe Manchin, the Democrat senator from West Virginia, I think, has said that he won't be backing legislative filibuster repeals or any of the sort of hard left material that's been thrown around by some of the Democrats. So all in all, well, the market likes it. Wall Street likes it. The markets are all up because they see lots of spending. They see lots of checks, and not so much gridlock, but certainly no one party having its way. So is that a win? I don't know. It certainly doesn't feel like a win for the Democrats. And it doesn't really look like a win for the Democrats. And then you've got the issue that the Trumps are probably going to hang around. I mean, I know Donald Trump loves his buildings, but I think he loves crowds of people even more. So I suspect that he and his family are going to have plenty to say. And in many ways, they always did have plenty to say. But now it's in terms of the political arena. So I think it's quite clear in Australia the left lost. Scott Morrison is Prime Minister. In the UK, the left lost. Boris Johnson is Prime Minister with a healthy majority. Joe Biden looks like he'll be the next president, but it's not a convincing win. I think the one thing we can say is that when Joe has used this word convincing in terms of the election and his win, unfortunately, it's not just Donald Trump sitting there saying, no, I'm going to contest this. It wasn't a convincing win. If you're winning Georgia by 14,000, Pennsylvania by 50,000, Arizona by 20 to 30, Nevada, whatever it is, 20 to 30, that's just not enough. It's not even six-digit numbers. It's 0.1% in relation to Georgia. It goes to a recount. I mean, it's just not convincing. Convincing is not a word you can use about this election. Nobody's convinced at all. And it's astonishing, really, that with all that support from CNN and the mainstream media in America, that Joe wasn't able to get more votes. And I think that says something. And I think avoiding that conclusion, avoiding that commentary doesn't help at all. I think we have to see the election as it is.